So that is pretty much the movie in a nutshell.
Okay.
So
Let's go to the fact that she sleeps with Batman.
yeah, I was going to say
This is
John,
ridiculous.
you already
I mean,
So this week is the release of the Killing Joke movie by DC Animation, and last week was the special one-night screening premiere of the film, and many of us already saw the film at that pre-screening. John, you did not, but you've read the book, obviously.
yeah, exactly. But in Toronto, I noticed we have 3 screenings, 3 nights.
Yes, some places did extend it to a second night. I don't know about the third night, but maybe, there you go, in Toronto they did. So for the by chance you don't know what the Killing Joke is a graphic novel by Alan Moore and Brian Bolland, released in 1985, and it's sort of become like the definitive Joker origin story, even though the Joker's supposed to be this mysterious character without a history.
And it's also considered like one of the best Batman stories ever written.
Yeah, one of the greatest graphic novels ever made.
Yeah.
Alongside with it's true. Alongside with Watchmen and various others, it's up on the list of greatest graphic novels ever written.
Original graphic novel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, finally, after who knows, 30 years or 20 years or so, Bruce Timm has been trying to get this film made forever, and now it was finally made, and it has the voice talents of Kevin Conroy as Batman, of course. Mark Hamill, the real Batman. Mark Hamill is the Joker, the only Joker, and Tara Strong as Batgirl, who I think voiced Batgirl in Batman the Animated Series.
She voiced Harley Quinn, no?
She voices Harley Quinn now.
Oh, Harley Quinn, exactly, yeah.
She voices Harley Quinn now. She didn't in the animated series.
You sure?
Yes, but I think she did voice Batgirl in the animated series, so that's why they got her back for this one. We're gonna go with you want to start with a synopsis of it, because they change a few things here and there from the original graphic novel. Yeah,
it's mainly the same thing, actually.
It's mostly the same thing. Most of it's
like 95% is the exact same thing, word per word.
Yeah.
The only thing they did is added a prequel of it, an introduction of the Batgirl storyline to put her into that universe that we all know.
Mm-hmm. And
it's the only difference.
Yeah, because the Killing Joke story on its own is much too short to be a full-length movie on its own. It's just about what we saw on screen. It's about 45 minutes worth of the movie, and that's how much it probably, I think, would have been if they had just done the Killing Joke on its own. But they did, they added a Batgirl prequel story to sort of like the idea
of the introduction.
Yeah, give her more of a backstory, because in the Killing Joke book, she's not in it very much. She's in it for that one crucial scene where she, is paralyzed by the Joker, and a lot of
spoiler alert.
But after so long, I think it's okay.
Yeah.
For 30 years, yeah.
Yeah, many critics found that to be just using her as a plot device. So the prequel story was sort of used to make you feel more for the character when it eventually happens to her towards the middle of the movie.
And show a bit of more of a connection between her and Batman, no?
Yeah.
That was new.
Well, we'll get to that, because that's
the whole main critics are against that.
That's the bit of controversy that's with this movie. But to sum up the movie, it's the first 20 so minutes is Batgirl's story, and her and Batman are hunting down this criminal who appears to be in love with her, but he's obviously crazy. And Batman doesn't think she should get too close to the case because it could be too dangerous.
Because it's like too personal now.
It's too personal because the killer has such an obsession with her. So she disobeys him and goes after the criminal, and Batman's like, listen, you're off the case, get out of here. Finally, they do catch the criminal, but there's something that happens between Batgirl and Batman, in that there's sort of like this sexual tension between them that eventually gets broken, and they end up having sex, and he's really like distant with her and stuff like that.
She rips off her top right on top of Batman, fully costumed and everything. It was great.
Cartoons
are not how I remember them.
Well, I don't think this wasn't a cartoon for kids.
No.
Yeah, but
is
then
she legal?
Yeah, we could assume liberally she's like 20 years old or something in this movie.
Yeah,
And in the story,
let's assume stuff.
In the story, also, like
it always works so well. Sorry.
Exactly.
Wait,
we could if
they
we're
slept
being
together?
in the movie.
Oh yeah, you don't know.
We'll get to that when we go over our
That's so wrong.
When
Okay,
we
go
get
on, go on.
when we
Yeah.
get into
But
our
it was
critique
so
of
That's
it.
so right. Oh.
This is so wrong. Like,
So,
go on.
after they finally catch this criminal, she gives up being Batgirl, and she says, that's not for me anymore. And then the Killing Joke starts, and it's the actual, almost like Nick was saying, word for word adaptation of the story of Killing Joke, and with a few minor changes here and there, but other than that, it is word for word Killing Joke. So that is pretty much the movie in a nutshell.
Okay.
So
Let's. She sleeps with Batman.
Oh, yeah.
I like where this is going. Giggity, giggity, giggity.
I'm gonna say,
This is
John,
ridiculous.
you already
I mean,
have like.
do you understand how she's like Nightwing's girlfriend and slash sister slash now stepmother and slash?
Not in this universe. Like, we don't know about the Killing Joke universe.
Okay, I guess.
I mean-
guess. But this is like because Babs and Nightwing are like.
The way they introduced Batgirl in the Killing Joke is that she has a lot of sexual tension, or like something that Batman is not giving back to her. That's why at some point she's like cracking up and go for the bat.
Go for the bat.
And then the thing is that, which surprised everyone, I guess, is that Batman at that point accepted her kiss,
Her
basically.
advances, yeah.
But
Advances, yeah.
yeah, that's the thing. Cause in my eyes, and that maybe that's the issue, is that in my eyes she's not like a daughter because she still has like her father. But the problem is that I see her like Batman is compared to Batgirl is like her niece or something.
He's her mentor.
Her mentor, yeah. But like, she's part of the Bat family, and that's.
And I think that's what a lot of people had the problem, like why people had a problem with that. And I understand what the filmmakers were trying to do. I get it. But I feel like it kind of undermines her character to make her motivation is that she's, turned on by Batman. If you wanted to make her be this, strong, independent woman that don't need no crime fighter, but if they wanted to do that, they could have made it that she really like wants to like get down and beat on some thugs and do what she can to be a crime fighter, but she's still young and it's more about the thrill, which they touch on in the film. But then she spends a lot of her time outside of being Batgirl talking to her gay best friend about her not really relationship, and it makes it seem it kind of like I feel it loses its that's where it loses its ground. You're basically making her motivation, and it's a little hypocritical because there's many movies where you have a male character's motivation being sex, and it's usually for comedies like
Almost standard here.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. It's what it is that why is it okay for men but not okay for women? You can make that argument. My point is that I feel it sort of like undermines the character. I could be wrong. It could be just the way I see it. Maybe it's because I also, like John, like you were saying, she's more, Batman is more of her mentor instead of. Yeah.
It's as if Batman took advantage of his position of power, and that's.
But she's the one
wrong.
that takes him down. She takes him down and then advances on him, and he just he accepts it.
Okay.
My problem. I've absolutely nothing against Barbara wanting to fuck Bruce Wayne. Who doesn't want to fuck Bruce Wayne? Bruce Wayne can literally fuck everyone, but her it's not okay. No, that's just fine. My problem is that he didn't do anything. He is the mentor here. He is the one in charge of everything,
He
and
didn't say
yet
no.
he didn't say no. So why she should be in the wrong and not him?
No. I'm saying I was going to get to that. He's
No, that's the problem. She's okay because she initiated the move. He's in the wrong because he basically, how can I say that? Like he took advantage of it. Like
He's been in
and
a
he's
cave all this
supposed to-
time. He needs some pussy, man.
Catwoman.
Catwoman.
Exactly.
That's supposed to. Catwoman is
Exactly.
fine. Catwoman is perfect.
But that's what
But-
I'm saying. Yeah, as the mentor, like, why would he
And
just
not
be
just
like,
that.
oh, this is happening now, and just go along with it? You know, it doesn't make sense.
It's not even just that. After that happened, Batman wasn't answering her calls.
Yeah,
So he was trying to avoid the problem. Since when he do that?
because this
Doesn't
has
make any sense.
because this is not a case. It involves emotions.
I don't remember, but did we see Bruce Wayne or did we just see Batman throughout the movie?
I think
We
you only
see
see
Batman
Batman.
a little. Well,
You don't see Bruce Wayne
we see
throughout.
him without the cowl, but still with the suit.
Yeah, so he's still Batman.
Yeah. He's always Batman.
He's always Batman. Yeah.
I enjoyed the first part of the movie, but I found once it hit the second part of the movie, it made the first part kind of moot.
Have you read the book?
No.
Okay, so for you it was all new. It was like, okay,
You never
well,
read Killing Joke. Oh.
well now you do. Well, like now you did.
Well, now you basically did, kind of, yeah. But yeah.
Because it was a little confusing for me because animation style, it felt like Batman animated.
Really? Because
Well-
okay, go on. Yeah.
No, well, it's Bruce Timm producing, so I wouldn't be surprised if it feels
Like
similar.
Alfred looked like Alfred from Batman animated. The only
Yeah.
thing that was different for Batman, his sigil on his chest was different, and his Batmobile was a little more Batmobile.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a tank like all the newer ones.
I think Mark's problem via the movie is that since he didn't read it, and the movie is mainly made for the people that have read the book 20 years ago. They want to live in like live action animated that story that they all loved. But since you didn't see it, it's like it's just another normal story for you.
Yeah, I enjoyed the second part with the Joker, except for the end.
Yeah, but exactly in the book that hand is like
Ambiguous.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's get into that. But to finish off with the Batgirl prequel stuff, yeah, but I agree with you. Like, Batman is totally like, it doesn't make sense for Batman, and in the end, it just makes Batman's it really progresses Batman's story forward even more, because after she gets shot, it's like, oh no, I have feelings now. So like, I get it. Like, I get what they were trying to do.
It's supposed to be a mentor feeling, not a love feeling.
Yeah, it's like, you know, why couldn't it just be that, oh my god, the Joker almost killed her? What's wrong? What was wrong with that in the first place? But I get what they were trying to do. I don't agree with it. I really liked, you know, basically if you had all the Batgirl stuff minus the whole sexual motivation, I think it would have been perfect. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
If you had, like, leave all the Batgirl stuff as it was, and just, like, but don't make it that she's only staying with him so she could try and, you know, become an item with him, you know?
True.
And then have her off time just talking to her gay BFF, because it seems a little, like, cliche at that point.
I think that part is more to please to everyone.
It was
They
funny.
are-
Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
'cause
Like,
everybody
yeah,
has
yeah.
that
the
gay
character had
person
like
now.
great dialogue. It's just that the writing of it was just, it felt stereotypical. And it's funny because it's written by Brian Azzarello.
Yeah.
You know, which is
The one who did the Joker and Luthor.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, let's get into the Killing Joke aspect of it. The core of the story.
Okay.
Well, John, did you have any?
Yeah, because we were talking about the animation, and so because I didn't see anything, right? And what I felt, you were talking about the animated series and how the animation, well, a lot of stuff were different, but what I saw from the trailer was that the animation was odd, a bit childish in my point of view,
It
And I
is
find, like-
familiar to the Batman animated TV show. It's not the same,
Yeah,
but
no,
it is
that's it.
familiar. It is
Exactly.
Like it's
different
not like
to
all the other
Japanese stuff we get now.
exactly like all the
Yeah.
DC movies we get have that Japanese-ish to
Yeah.
it.
But you saw
Now
the
it's
stuff
the style that we are used to back then.
No, but that's the thing. But I saw the drawings were very cheap. I think I shared with you guys earlier when it was first announced that the trailer, like the pictures of the trailer, pictures of the recent animation were completely different. Like there was a lot of shadings, there was a lot of details. The other one is like kind of a square and rapidly, almost cheap in my point of view.
That was my gripe with the animation quality of the film, is that it didn't look like Brian Bolland's art. And it did have that animated feel, like animated series feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I personally would have liked it better if it was more in that Brian Bolland realistic looking style. Realistic, I use the term lightly, but semi, like closer to his style, but animated. I think I would have liked it more, because it did feel like kind of like choppy, as if it was an older cartoon, you know? Maybe that's what they were going for, because it's Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill, and Tara Strong, and Bruce Timm producing. I don't know.
Well,
but
for
I
me,
know
that was okay. I was okay with that. I didn't mind the look of it, and it was nice seeing a cartoon like that with the swearing and that stuff going on that you don't really get used to.
It was violent.
Yeah.
It was so violent.
It's
like
killing
blood,
joke.
swear. I know, but I'm not complaining here. I'm just saying that it's pretty cool.
When they referred to Batgirl as Batman's bitch, I loved it.
Ooh.
That was great.
Yeah,
Best line in the movie.
it's a very, it's not for kids. It's
not. It is not.
Yeah.
But I feel like, did you feel like that the Joker origin stuff could have been delivered better, though?
I was confused.
Okay, why? Go ahead.
Well, because
with the flashbacks?
With the flashbacks, because I was sort of... Okay, I know who Joker is. Like, I'm not a complete nincompoop. But I almost felt like the first part of the movie was an origin story to Joker until it actually hit the second part where they were going back to the flashbacks of the Joker and the Red Hood and all that. I'm like, well, what the hell? What was with that other guy? That would have been so cool if they did, like, I don't know, a backstory to it.
Yeah.
With that love for Batgirl, and that's why he goes after Batgirl.
But you reading the book, you would have thought, like, differently.
Yeah, see, I'm just going with watching the
comic. That's the thing.
Movie.
That's not.
But that is also a problem for people who haven't read the book. You know, like, I'm not saying that it's good the way they did it, but it is truthful to the book.
It's funny, Mark, that what you just said. I've heard people say that as well, thinking that the guy and the Batgirl story was going to end up being Joker, and you know what? I think maybe they did that on purpose, like just for parallel sake. Like both Batman and Batgirl have this Joker type character
it was
as a villain.
The reason why Batman doesn't want Batgirl to go after him, because he's living that same kind of relation with Joker himself.
Yeah.
That's why he was like, stay away from him.
That's deep, Nick. That's deep.
What was I going to say? But yeah, the flashbacks. So was that like the confusing part for you, or did you get it like as the movie went on?
Well, I knew that Joker was Red Hood at one point.
Yeah.
I knew that much. Working in the comic book store, you kind of figure out some things like that.
Was he? I think I saw somewhere. I read that maybe the Red Hood was not actually the Joker, and something, I don't know.
Well, the way
in the original Joker Red Hoods, there was a bunch of them. It was just another criminal using the helmet.
And that's how they got
Joker
the Joker.
Used it for a while.
They used the Joker as a patsy to be the Red Hood, and they slapped on the costume to do the crime. But he wasn't actually Red Hood. He was just a...
There's no such thing as Red Hood. It's like it's a different person every time.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, except now with
except for now with Jason Todd, yeah. But I feel like those flashback sequences, they could have been a little longer, just so you could feel because the idea for the Killing Joke graphic novel was that yes, the Joker is this horrible, horrible character, horrible person, like really does not deserve to be living. But then when you see his origin and ultimately his point for shooting Barbara and taking Jim Gordon captive, is that, you know, everyone has a sad story and eventually everyone can go crazy in just one day. Like with one bad day, you can go crazy and become the Joker. And that was like his ultimate point.
But that's what they say about Batman, right? One bad day in the alley and
exactly.
Boom.
Batman had a bad day and now he's crazy. So I feel like those flashback parts could have been a little longer, just so you could feel for the character a little more. But I felt that they went so quickly. That's how I felt. Like they did the dialogue and they just passed right over it. Nick, do you feel? Mark, while watching, I'm looking for input. This is how I feel. Like,
look, I read the book, so I knew what was going to happen, and I was expecting exactly that. That's why I'm not upset. But it is true that for someone who, you know, never read anything and is like jumping into that right away, I understand how someone can get lost. Mm-hmm. It's more than logical.
I figured as much that the flashbacks were for Joker only because they sort of locked away the other guy, and why would they do flashbacks to some random incident that didn't look like him? So I knew it was going to be Joker. So
I didn't like the back and forth just because I don't usually like that in movies. But since again it was like that in the book, I couldn't really complain because they were doing the same thing.
If you watched Arrow, you would be used to it.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things also.
But again, with Arrow, it's like small, like it's like a 2 minutes for a 20 minutes TV show, so that's not so bad.
But a lot of things that I've noticed. A lot of things I've noticed after reading things and seeing it live action, or not only live action, but animated, is that when you read something, you read it in a certain way, and you read the voice with a certain intonation, and it represents an emotion. But when you see an animated series, often they see it how the directors read it.
It's how the actors.
And not how.
It doesn't sound dyslexic. It's great.
Dyslexic.
Because he's a dyslexic, so he reads it badly. Anyway,
I switched some of the letters and words.
Yeah. He's not. Are you dyslexic? Anyway, that's not important.
That's not the point.
So was he? Do you think the Killing Joke book represented perfectly the flow of the story, or was it a bit different?
When I read the book many years ago, I had Mark Hamill's voice in my head. I had Kevin Conroy voice in my head.
Definitely, same.
And and that's pretty much it. But like voice wise, I'm more than pleased with that.
Yeah,
I think Mark Hamill did an amazing job. Like I found the Joker I was watching back in the days in the animated TV shows. It was the same thing.
Well,
more violent.
Yeah, it was a lot more sinister, more violent than.
Yeah. But
is the crime.
That was.
And I feel Mark Hamill's Joker voice has gotten better as he's gotten older, because his voice has gotten raspy.
Yeah, I heard about a recording of him laughing as a Joker, and it was creepy as shit. Like it was like, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have to watch it.
What about the ending?
Which one?
What do you? Okay, the original first one where Batman is or tapping his shoulder or trying to strangle him.
And
it's one or the other.
Because that's the thing. That's how it happens in the book. They both start laughing the same way, and then Batman puts his hands on Joker's shoulders, and it pans down to the water, and they're both laughing, and you see the ha-ha-has going across at each panel of art, but then they just stop.
Yeah.
And that's
so no one knows if he actually killed him / strangled.
Yeah.
Or it's like they're laughing together and that's it.
And it just finishes. The ending is supposed to be ambiguous. So, do you feel it was that's how it came across in the film? because in
I was
film,
expecting exactly that as for the animation. What I was hoping for is maybe music-wise, something a little bit more epic.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just like slowly going to nothing.
but not only that, whereas the book is that it's just one line of ha 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 going across each panel and then stopping. In the movie, it's the two characters laughing, and then Joker stops laughing and Batman keeps laughing. So that's how they handled it for the movie.
Yeah.
So
I'd say, without reading the comic book, I thought the ending was bullshit.
Well, what did you think of when you saw the ending? What did
I'm
you
like,
think
what?
was happening?
After all that, that's how it ends? Like, what the fuck?
Oh, you just didn't like the ending?
No, I didn't like the ending whatsoever. It cut to black. I'm like, what? No.
Okay. Yeah.
You wanted like a finale, as in like...
I don't know, something. What? Joker gets locked up. Batman punches his face in, and he's falling down onto the ground, and then it goes black. Something.
Yeah, but I think it was an artistic
That is the magic
ending.
of the Killing Joke. That is the magic,
What's
because
the magic
it's so
to it?
subtle. It's so subtle that you need to imagine it yourself of what's happening.
But I
For
think
real.
I understand for a comic book imagining stuff for yourself because you're reading it, but it's a fucking movie. Come on, show me some stuff.
But here we go. That brings up an interesting contrast between people who have read the book first and people who have not read the book and have just gone in to see the movie. And we even have the input of someone who's not seen the movie yet and has only read the book. So we have like every angle that we could look at this from, you know?
But that's the thing. It's an artistic ending where like it left the imagination of the viewer, and it's just a beautiful ending. It's not like a concrete. This happens, factual. Okay, I got this. No, it's like, oh, look at this. Like, what's going on? Wow, it leaves you with more question, which makes...
Yeah, but the no-name fucking criminal at the beginning got more of an ending than we got with Joker and Batman.
That's true, though.
He
It's
gets
true.
locked away. He gets a whole news thing. He's like, okay, closure. He's done. Move on. And Joker, it's all...
Well, because it's the Joker. You know he will always come back. You will always see him again, no matter what. Fuck, there's like 3 Jokers now in the DC continuity.
That's another video.
But
I know.
it's funny just talking about the Joker and all that, and I watched the trailer again for Killing Joke after seeing it, and it's funny the clips that they take from the movie and the way they rework it. You actually think that it was Joker in front of Batman in the prison, when in fact...
Yeah, at the
Well,
beginning.
again, if you read the book,
Okay, but you can't just keep saying if you read the book, because obviously if you read the book, you've read the book, you know all this. That's not the... That's
And
not,
you're a fan.
no
and
one-
well, you don't
enjoyed
know
this
what
movie.
it's about the prequel.
Yeah, but no one's doubting that if you read the book, you're gonna know what's going on. It's just for the trailer's sake. It's just how
What's the
trailers
twist?
are cut.
No.
It's just how trailers are cut. You know, that's how it goes. I don't think that has anything to do
No,
with it.
but it's fun that way. It's like after you've seen the movie and you watch the trailer, like, I see what you did.
Yeah,
there.
I think that just could be said for any film, really.
To finish all this, something that I liked is the second ending when
Yeah,
the Oracle is actually being born.
Yeah.
but it doesn't
So
say the
actually, you
name,
see-
though.
No, it should. Well,
No, they don't say it, but you know,
it's
like
just that at least you now have some closure with
with
Batgirl.
Batgirl
Yeah.
and Barbara
Yeah.
Gordon. Yeah, I really
well,
like
yeah.
that. It's like a mid-credit scene, and she comes, rolling in with her wheelchair, and she's on the phone with someone, and she says, "No, I can't. I'm busy tonight." And she goes into her room, and there's like a secret, like supercomputer, and she puts on a headset, and she's like, "Okay, it's back to work." And it's the birth of Oracle at that point, which makes me wonder
is pretty
if they're gonna do like a Birds of Prey movie or something, and have her as Oracle, and then have Black Canary and Huntress and these other Katana maybe, like as not necessarily related to the Killing Joke film / universe,
But it's an introduction.
but an introduction to that. Hey, Barbara Gordon's gonna appear in another movie soon, because that would be cool. I'd like to see an Oracle-centered film, and it's funny because this is off topic, but I always thought that with the Arkham games, Batman Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and such, oracles in those. And I thought it'd be cool if they had ever made a sort of oracle, like a mobile game or something, or even a console game, you know. And you're playing as Oracle, but it's like a puzzle game instead of a stealth action game, you know. I thought that would have been cool, but that's digression. Sorry.
Yeah, and what you need to solve is actually the missions that you're playing as Batman in the actual game.
Oh, it's like a parallel.
Yeah.
A parallel,
nice.
Like to do with like the timelines in the Resident Evil 6 there. That'd be cool.
Yeah. When you play the different angles from different people's perspectives and stuff. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So final thought.
Overall, Justin, you liked it?
I liked it. I thought it could have been better. I thought it could have been executed better. But as it stands, I still really enjoyed it because it still had. It was still great. It was a great animation style. It was still, Mark Hamill, Kevin Conroy, Tara Strong. It was still the Killing Joke. But I feel it could have been so much better. And maybe it's a budget thing. Maybe they just spent all their money on Mark Hamill, Kevin Conroy, and Tara Strong that they couldn't make it as perfect as it could have been. But it was. I still really liked it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan, and honestly, what I saw, I love the cast. Cast is perfect. I didn't like the trailer, so because of that, I didn't see it in the movies. But I will definitely see it at home. Honestly, it's not a thing I'll wait off as soon as I could see it tonight. I'm probably gonna go watch it. So yeah, but I didn't like the trailer. Love the cast, so it's I see it at home thing. Yeah.
Okay, Mark.
Animation style, I enjoyed the animation. I preferred that over the Japanese-esque that we've been getting in DC movies. I liked the more adult themed. I liked the little bit of swearing in it.
Are you talking about like the Japanese, as in like Justice League War?
Yeah.
Justice League War and
Okay.
Yeah.
They have like an Asian.
It feels very. It feels very anime-ish. Yeah.
But I prefer this because it feels like it was the cartoons that I used to watch. So I liked that, and I liked with the adult themes. I didn't mind the whole sex thing. Did I like the movie? No, I didn't like the movie. I didn't like that it felt too much of two separate movies, and one didn't really correlate with the other, and the ending sort of left me like, what the fuck?
But that's
coming
boring or just confusing?
The Joker parts I enjoyed. Like the whole thing with him and Commissioner Gordon, it was like intense. It was like, holy shit. But after that was done, it was like, really, that's the ending that I got, and I'm not interested.
Nick?
I think pretty much the same thing as you, Justin. I enjoyed the movie, but it could have been so much more. It could have been, I would probably watch it again just to.
Oh, I'm still gonna buy it, obviously.
But I mean, in general, like the animation was awesome. It was just like Mark said, the really familiar what we've seen with the Batman animated series. The violence was there. It was nice. It was not too much, but it was poorly executed. Yeah.
I think it just could have been so much more than what it was, but I still enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.